name's Teddy Compton. I kind of remember on the flood a bit, on the 1972 flood. It's hard to believe it's been 50 years already. Just don't feel like it's been that long. And on the morning it happened, it was lucky it had been on a Saturday morning instead of on a school day. If it happened on a school day or something, it'd been worse than what it was. We lost a lot of people on them days. And I heard my grandpa always said that the dam up there is going to break someday, and it's going to be bad. He always said that many years ago. And after he passed away, about a couple of years after that, it came out of the holler. It was hard to believe it would be anybody in it. You wouldn't picture it as somebody being in a flood or anything like that. But when I was in the 8th grade when it happened, and we moved up on the hill we lived up there about a year before it happened, because we would lost our house. I sat up on the porch and watched it go by. You could see people, mobile homes going down the creek. And you could see people in them trying to scream for help. Nobody couldn't get to them. And I've seen these propane gas going down the creek, and you could see it, where it's spewing the gas out of it. And it's just hard to imagine that people would be in it. And right below the fire station here, there was a train trestle. And that's where a lot of houses hit that train trestle, gathered up in there. And my uncle, he worked for the Island Creek Coal Company. And he helped clean a lot of that debris out from that train trestle. And he found a lot of people in that was in the flood that couldn't make it out. And he helped got people out of the one they found that passed away from it. He got a lot of people out of it. And people that he knows, and some people I know that he found in it. And even down here, tore up so much stuff, it's hard to imagine. And we couldn't get out of the bottom. We had no way of getting out of the bottom but walking out. If you had to go somewhere, you had to walk out. It'd been like that for about a month or 2 months. And so we had to go to my dad's brother down in Logan that lived down there for at least about 3 weeks before we come back home. And so they sent in the National Guard to help people out, what they can, and if you go off the creek, to get back on the creek, you had to show a pass to get back there. They wouldn't let you come up in here, not if you show a pass, the ID, just picture you that you lived up here. They wouldn't let nobody else come up in here. And it was like that for a few months. And the most scary part about it was like at nighttime. Everything was pitch black. You can't see nothing out through there. And people back in, you could have coal stoves to keep warm by, because you don't have no power, no heat, nothing. If you had a coal stove, that's what you heat by. And it was a scary feeling when it happened. And it rained all night. The water was already up, up here. And it rained, and it poured rain all night and all day that morning. It looked weird that morning. And we heard cars go up and down blowing horns, but to get up on higher ground. that dam had busted. And people didn't really believe it because everybody been saying that. And so a lot of people ignored it. They didn't really believe it's happening. But somebody been going up and down the road and saying the dam had busted, get up on higher ground. Because they've been saying that for years. So a lot of people didn't think it was true, but it was. But my dad and them, they walked out and they walked up the road and checked on his sister. They didn't know where she went to, but they got out of high ground. My dad's sister, and they lost all their house during the flood. And because they just built their house, about 3 months after they moved in, and they lost it. Because they lost the first house during the fire. So he went and checked on them, and they found him. And they found a lot of people that they covered up, because when that scar came in, they had to, they got them, put them in a truck, and they took them to the old man junior high. They used it for a morgue, where they take the bodies to. And we couldn't go to school. Like I said, for a good month, we couldn't go to school. And then when we did, like they sent the man area to Logan for a half a day, and Logan had a half a day school. We had to go from here all the way to Logan for a half a day. And there was only 2 buses that ran to pick us up, and it brought us back home. But they put a walk bridge in front of the old grade school up here. We had to go across that bridge and wait for a bus. And if the bus did show up, you'd be all right. But if you didn't, you'd be standing there in the cold waiting for a bus. And sometimes they'll run, sometimes they wouldn't. But it was a cold morning that morning. And like I said, it was a weird feeling. Something like that wouldn't happen. And it's hard to believe it did. But after that flood, a lot of stuff changed and everything. It's not like it used to be. And like up in that bottom, we used to play on a big field up there. And now there's houses on it. Everything just changed like it used to be. It's not like it was. But you lost a lot of people in there, and a few of my friends that I know was in, lost them. But I hope and pray nothing like that ever happens again. Right. I know what a lot of people went through during the floods in other places, how they feel. And it's hard. But it's just hard to believe. There's times that I wish it never go back the same way, but you'll never get it back. But like I said, we were lucky we moved that back up behind where there used to be a store in front of us. We were lucky we moved up there. We would have lost a lot, everything we had. And at nighttime we would stay at my house, Dad's house. We'd stay up there at night, and we'd go to Grandma's. She lived right down in front of us. We'd go down and clean her house up, getting everything ready. Well, she would fix dinner down on a coal stove. On the way you got to cook in, because we didn't have no power. She had one of them old pot-belly stoves to heat up with, and that's how she cooked on it. And the food tasted good back, on it, though. But and then, you sit there and watch the National Guard bring in helicopters and everything, landing in there and bring in supplies, what the people need, and they'll set up, make sure people have water and everything like that. And you know, after it all went down and that all happened and they cleaned everything up, I would sit there and watch them build the road, built the back. I would sit on the porch and you could see how they were building the road back and putting everything back in place. And it's like everything changed on us, not like it used to be. And you know, I wouldn't want nobody to go through something like that. What we did. And